Okay, geometric hypothesis testing, finding a critical region. Take one. So Aisha is testing a 5-sided spinner to see if it's fair. She counts the number of trials until she gets a 1. And we want to find the critical region for the probability of getting a 1 being less than a fifth. So x is geometric 1/5. And the null is that p equals a fifth. And the alternative is that p is less than a fifth, where p is the probability of spinning a 1. So we need basically the probability of x being greater than or equal to c. Remember, if p is less than a fifth, you have to wait longer before you get your number 1. And we want that probability to be less than 0.05, which is 5% the significance level. The probability that x is greater than or equal to c, so c is the critical value. So it's the point you go from accepting the null to accepting the alternative. So the probability x is greater than or equal to c is the same as the probability x is bigger than c minus 1. So that means you haven't spun a 1 on the first c minus 1 trials. And we need that to be less than 0.05. So we've got an unknown as power, and we can use logarithms now to bring down that power. You don't really want to be doing these by trial and error. So log 4/5 is 0.8 to the power of c minus 1 is less than log 0.05. Then I can bring down the power. And now I can divide by log 0.8. Just be a little bit careful here. If you've got log of anything between 0 and 1, it will come out negative. And so when you divide by log of 0.8, you need to flip your inequality sign. If you're really worried about that, you can use equal signs for here, but it's not as good, and you won't necessarily know which way to go at the end. Putting that into a calculator gives you, a bit up here somewhere, 13.425. So c minus 1 is bigger than 13.425. Adding 1 on, c is bigger than 14.425. Remember, c needs to be a positive integer because it's a value that x takes. It's a number of spins. So if c is bigger than 14.425, then c is greater than or equal to 15. So the critical region, I don't know if C strictly is the critical value, hence the slight pause there, but the critical region for this hypothesis test is that x is greater than or equal to 15. So if you have 15 or more spins before you get a 1, you're going to conclude that P is less than a fifth, because the probability of that occurrence is going to be less than the significance level. And the critical value is where you go from accepting the null to accepting the alternative. So that's x equals 15 if you need it. And then to find the actual significance level for the test, you need to find the probability, so the actual significance level. So what's the probability you accept the alternative? So that's the probability that x is greater than or equal to 15. So that means you don't get a 1 on the first 14 trials. And so that probability comes out as 0.0440. So that's the actual significance level for the test.